Now, a small bedroom might be a little difficult to style, but in this video, guys, I'm going to be sharing with you some great tips and tricks that you can use to make this space not only aesthetic but also super functional. Anyway, guys, Faazati Ali here, interior designer, and without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video. Now, the first thing that is super important that you definitely want to do when you're styling a small bedroom is to go for light color tones. Now, color is super important when it comes to interior design, and psychologically, light colors tend to make walls look like they're receding, making a room look larger. On the other hand, dark colors tend to make the walls look like they are closing in, making a room feel cramped and even smaller. So you want to avoid colors that are dark, such as black, the bold deep colors with deep hues. This will not be great for the space. In a bedroom, what you're looking for is relaxation on top of everything. The best colors are neutral colors, so go for the whites, the light grays, the light browns, the beiges. And you can also go for amazing bedroom colors. These are the cool colors such as the green and the blue. Of course, go for the lighter muted tones. This will work best in this space. So if you're thinking about creating, let's say, a focal wall in this room, because this is also quite important, even if the space is small, a place where your eyes get fixated on immediately you walk into the room. Of course, for the bedroom, your focal wall is probably going to be your headboard wall. So you can add a light green tone here, maybe a nice olive shade. You can have a nice blue tone here on that particular wall, and then the rest of the walls can have a nice neutral color. This will blend really well together and just keep the room a nice calm feel in the focal point. So why not? And on top of that, you can go ahead and add a wallpaper on this headboard wall. This still works amazingly, and of course, not only will it create that statement in the room that will actually be, that appeal when you walk into the space, but choose something that's nice, something that will give that aesthetic in the space. Choose a nice, beautifully patterned wallpaper and have a focal point. Just make sure that when you're picking all these items, be it your paint, be it your color tones, you're going for light ones, because this will work best for a small room. They will not only make it, look larger, but give it the aesthetics, make it feel calm, more serene, which is definitely what you want in the bedroom area. When styling a small bedroom, when it comes to your lights, you might want to go for hanging pendants or wall sconces. Now, as we all know, lighting is super important in every space in the room, including the bedroom, where number one, guys, always remember that you have to go for warm lighting, because this is what's best for the bedroom space, for that relaxation vibe and to create that serene mood when you need to go to rest or sleep. So number one, of course, think about that. Number two, you need to at least layer your lights. And one of this would be to bring in some accent lights. Now, a lot of times what people do is bring in table lamps. In a small bedroom, there might not be enough space to have table lamps on either side of the bed, and it would also need a lot of spacing to just have them on top of this drawer. So what you can do is go for hanging pendants. This looks amazing. They do not take away from any of the space that you have in the room, but actually take up one particle space, which is great. Number two, if you can't do hanging pendants, then go ahead and have wall sconces in this room, because this will serve the same purpose without having to take any space on drawers and so on. So lighting is important as always, be it natural. Always ensure you have enough natural light coming into the space. This will make the space always feel more airy and larger. Artificial light is also important, so always ensure that you are layering your lighting. So your general light, have a few accent lights, and if the space in the room cannot allow you to have floor lamps and so on, then use vertical space to create these lighting areas. Now, something else you really need to think about when styling a small bedroom is circulation space. Now, it's quite important to always remember that you have to have traffic space to move around the room with ease. Now, the first way of doing this is to go for size down furniture pieces, such that the scale of your furniture is actually proportionate to the room. Don't go for a bed that is way too big for the space, such that once you put it in, the room is now too tight to even walk around in, and you're not really able to add other furniture pieces. That would not exactly be making sense for the space. So ensure that you are scaling down and thinking about your scale of the room when you're picking out furniture pieces for this particular space. So an appropriate size bed, an appropriate size dresser, an appropriate size storage unit, such that you have enough space to move around and the room is not too tight for use. Now, number two is you can always think about just pushing your bed to one side of the room. If it's too small and you can't exactly have two dresser tables on either side of the bed, it's all right. You can move your bed to one side of the room and just have one dresser area. This still works great in a small bedroom and still allows you to have a little bit of circulation space and extra space on the side that you can add a dresser table, maybe a study table, and so on. Because if this works better for the room, then this is what you want to go for. I know in my video on mistakes to avoid when styling the bedroom, I talked about pushing your bed towards the wall is not exactly great. It is a mistake. Keep your bed in the center and so on. But for a small bedroom, we will make an exception and say that it is okay. And as long as you style the bedroom really well, it's going to look really great. So unless it's a couple, it's a room for two people, then maybe you will definitely need to have the bed in the middle, such that it's easier for either of you to access the bed on either side. But if you are alone in that space, then it's okay to push the bed to one side. So just always think about that. Ensure that you are downsizing your furniture pieces if you have to, such that you are creating room for other items within the space. Something else you want to avoid is going for a matching furniture set, because this way you'll have to bring in the dresser that came with that bed, the drawers that came with that bed. First of all, it does not look aesthetic to have matching furniture sets in the bedroom or in any other room in the house. I've talked about this a lot. So avoid this, because in a small bedroom, bringing all these matching furniture sets will also not do it for you. It will not be aesthetic. That is number one. Number two, all these items in the room will actually make it feel cramped. So just bring in a bed on its own. If you need a bedside table, bring it. If you need a stool instead of that, just to create a more airy feel, then go for that option. Now, a style that I would definitely recommend for a small bedroom area is definitely minimalism. Now, this style is great because it allows you to tone it down to essentials, keep it functional with a few hints of accessories. Now, this would be the best style to bring into any bedroom, but as we all know, everybody might have their own style. Maybe you're a fan of bohemian, you're a fan of Scandi, you like a bit of industrial feel in the space. It's okay. You can still bring in your styles into the bedroom area, but think of creating a hybrid style such that you're mixing whatever style you love, whatever style is your favorite, with minimalism, such that you are toning it down a little bit. Bring in bohemian, but tone it down. Bring it industrial, but tone it down. This will allow you to still create a beautiful space that will work with the room, because the size of the room is small. We're going to keep it down. Turn it down a notch with the items that we bring in the room. Turn it down a notch with the characteristics of the styles we love that we bring into the room. So Japandi plus minimalism, Scandi plus minimalism will work really amazingly in a small bedroom area. So think about that when you are styling the space. Now, another really great tip when styling a small bedroom is to use vertical space. Now, you already do not have a lot of space within the room. What you want to do is now use your walls to create space, storage, and so on. So you can go for floating shelves, hang a few items, put a few items on the wall. This will allow you to create storage space. Maybe add some wardrobes. Of course, wardrobes, you can have those ones that hang above the bed area, creating a lot of storage in the space, and also using vertical space. Now, another way to create vertical height within the room is to maybe accessorize with an artwork. In a small bedroom, hanging some artwork will also allow you to, have the eye moving upwards while you're looking at the piece, creating some sense of vertical space. Another way to bring in the sense of vertical height within a room or vertical space is to hang your curtains, of course, near the ceiling, which of course is the recommended way to hang curtains. So guys, kindly watch my video on the do's and don'ts of hanging curtains. You will learn all the little tricks that you need and what mistakes you should be avoiding when you're hanging curtains. Anyway, back to our video. So guys, ensure that you're thinking about, vertical height. Hanging your curtains high up near the ceiling will also create that sense of height. If you go for short curtains in a small room, I swear the room is going to feel more cramped and it's not going to look great at all. So make sure your curtains and shears are floor to ceiling. This will definitely allow the room to feel larger. Something else to think about is to go for floating furniture pieces. You want to avoid having heavy pieces sitting directly on the floor, as I talked about in my video last week on how to make your space look larger. Having furniture pieces that sit directly on the ground can actually make a space feel more cramped and smaller. So go for a bed with legs. This will also allow you to have storage space underneath the bed, which is great for a small bedroom. When it comes to your dresser or side tables, same thing, guys. Try to ensure that what you're bringing into a small bedroom is not too heavy. So instead of those heavy drawers, maybe go for a nice stool with legs. This will look absolutely great in the room. It will allow you to see within the space, like under the stool and so on, allowing the eye to feel as if there's a lot more space in the room, making the space look larger. So this is so important. Think about that when you're styling your bedroom, be it your dresser, whatever you're bringing into the room. Try to go for floating furniture pieces. Now, another thing to think about when you're doing this is go for multifunctional furniture pieces, such that your bed can also act as a storage unit, such that you are actually having enough functionality in the space without really bringing in a lot of maybe drawers, wardrobes, and so on. Create storage within different items in the room. Use your drawers properly, keep away items. Use your wardrobes to keep away duvets, things like suitcases, things that would sit around the room that would make it feel cluttered. Of course, as we all know and we all remember, clutter is also needed in a small room. It's not needed in any room, big or small, but in a small room it's even worse because it's going to make it feel smaller and more cramped. So remember, when it comes to furniture pieces, ensure you're going for something that is floating and allowing you to see a bit of floor space. Number 2, try to go for multifunctional furniture pieces. Number 3, avoid clutter, because this will just make the room feel disorganized and more cramped. So guys, those are my tips and tricks that will allow you to style a small bedroom quite appropriately, creating a space that will be quite appealing to look at, and on top of that, make it quite functional. So think about incorporating this into your small bedroom. It will look absolutely amazing. Anyway guys, if you have any other tips on how to style a small bedroom, let me know in the comment section below. I would also love to learn from you. Anyway, I hope you guys got to learn something. We'll be able to incorporate some of these tips into your spaces. And thank you so much for taking your time to watch this video. Of course, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and share. I'll be truly grateful. Anyway guys, see you next week inshallah with another video. Love you guys so much. Bye bye.